What factors into the buy box on Amazon? This is very much a beginner's topic that we'll be covering today. My name is Stephen Pope, and I'm the founder of My Amazon Guy. So sometimes when you're selling an item on Amazon, you're not the only retailer at market. There could be a variety of reasons this could be the case. Let's say you're a wholesaler / retailer and you've been doing this for years, but Amazon wasn't the main focus of your business until recently. And then all of a sudden you launch your Amazon account and realize there's a bunch of other sellers already there. And there, of course, are many constraints and things that are going to come out about that. You got map pricing to deal with. You've got catalog management, data management, and just a bunch of logistics to figure out. But in this video, I want to talk about the buy box. So in this particular product that we're looking at here, there are 8 sellers, and I want to talk about what factors into a buy box. So if you're an arbitrage player trying to resell inventory, this will be a video for you. If you're a corporate entity and you have a wide distribution network, this video is for you as well. By the way, one of our most common clients that sign up with us are typically corporations where they've been distributing their product widely and now Amazon's becoming more of a priority. So if you're one of those corporations out there, I do recommend you sign up for my consulting service. You can do so over at myamazonguy.com. There are so many complicated areas that you're going to have to navigate. So definitely check us out and sign up today to get a consultation at the very least. But in terms of the buy box, here's what factors in to a buy box. You've got the speed of which an item ships to a consumer. You have the price, and you have prime versus no prime. And then you have selling account metrics. So those are kind of the 4 key areas that affect buy box. So in this particular instance, we have a seller who is $1 cheaper than everybody else. The seller probably should be at $15.99 with everybody else, but for whatever reason, they're at $14.99. So let's go back here and see who's actually in the buy box. So you can see ships and sold by Pacino's. So despite this seller being at $14.99, the actual person who's winning this buy box right here is at $15.99. And interestingly enough, they are not at prime. So here's a case example of when a seller can win the buy box when they're not prime and when they're not the cheapest price. And this is unusual. The circumstances that have led to this situation are unusual, mostly because of coronavirus or COVID-19. So under normal conditions, this would not happen. But because the FBA shipping times have been delayed on some key products, including beauty products like this, the ability for the merchant to ship faster is actually what's winning the buy box here. So a non-prime listing that says, hey, we're going to ship this and make it arrive by X date is beating the prime option. So if we were to go through the checkout process here and proceed to checkout, we would see that the time frame to get this item is going to be slower via prime. So I just fumbled this a bit and put both in the cart. And you can see here's the date ranges. In stock on April 21st, that is the $14.99 option. In here is the one that's sold directly from the manufacturer and they're shipping from their own warehouse, even though it's not prime. And so we're going to proceed to checkout here. And we're going to be able to see that the date range is Tuesday, April 21st versus April 23rd. And you can even see, hey, I can get it even faster if I select that. Now, I do recommend that you always offer free economic shipping. You may also want to offer a free higher tier of shipping to compete if you're not using FBA. But nonetheless, here you can see much faster time frames. So shipping time frame can absolutely be the number one factor into a buy box. And it's likely that shipping time frame will trump price to some degree. More often than not, as long as the price is within a 10% window, the fastest shipping time is what's going to win the buy box. So it's the most important metric.
The second most important is price. We just showed how price did not win the buy box in this particular instance. But then let's say all things are equal. Let's say that these three guys were the only three sellers on this listing. $15.99, all at FBA Prime. Who would win the buy box now? Well, most of the time it's going to rotate between the three sellers. But it's not going to rotate evenly. Instead, what's going to happen is they're going to look at the metrics on the accounts. You can see the positive feedback ratings here. They're all pretty close. Anything above 95% really is pretty identical. Amazon's not going to weight the 98% guy over the 95, realistically. There are other metrics behind the scenes that will factor in as well. How quickly you respond to customer service messages. You don't want to go over that 24-hour marker. And, if you haven't already, I highly recommend you install the seller app on your phone. So on your phone, you can go to your typical mobile download store, and you can grab the Amazon app version for Amazon Seller Central. Have that installed on your phone because anytime a customer service message comes in, you can just answer it right there, go about your day. Customer service messages are pretty rare. You only get, let's say you got an account in the $20,000 a month range. You're probably only going to get one message every 3 or 4 days. Not a big deal. But if you respond to those quicker, you're more likely to win your buy box, which is why I bring it up. It's the lowest of the important metrics, but it still has a factor, especially if everything else is equal. Performance notifications or previous account suspensions or your current velocity on the account at large can affect your buy box abilities at a product level. So let's say you have a $100,000 account, your competitor has a $10,000 account. Amazon is going to weight your $100,000 account over the $10,000 account with a heavy weighting. They're not going to give it to you 100% of the time, but they're probably going to give it to you 70 of the 100% of the time. So 70% instead of an even 50-50 split. And that's because Amazon has seen your success and they know that you're going to deliver the best customer experience based on past performance. It's an indicator of future performance. So they're going to weight you higher in the buy box as a weight. Now, Amazon can and will play with the buy box at any point in time. Everything in this video has an exception to the rule. They can just A/B test over time. But when all things are equal and they're not mucking with the algorithm, it goes shipping, then price, then it goes prime or non-prime, and then it goes down to account metrics in that order. So beyond that, there are things that affect the buy box that nobody has any knowledge or insight on, and people can just speculate. But if you have a newer account, buy boxes are much harder to come by. So in the first month or so of your account being up, or the first sales on a particular product, the buy box can sometimes be empty. There might not be anybody in the buy box. That can happen. Or let's say you had a 30% late shipment 1 month, and that could affect your buy box abilities as well, especially on merchant fulfilled listings. Now, FBA fulfilled listings would not be affected if you have a 30% late shipment on your MFNs. So, and if you do have late shipment problems and you're doing merchant fulfilled today, you should switch over to FBA most likely. Now, obviously, there's exceptions to that. If you got really bulky items, FBA can be too cost prohibitive, or maybe you got something that has to ship quickly and it's fragile or whatever it might be. There could be a variety of reasons why you want to ship merchant fulfilled versus FBA. But long story short, though, FBA fees are typically quite competitive. So let's go back to this listing here. Let's click onto Helium 10's Chrome extension. That is my favorite tool on the market for Amazon sellers. You can come in here and get an estimate on sales, price, FBA fees. The one criticism I have about any one of these tools, I dislike the fact that they group together the referral fee of 15% plus the shipping fee. So this $571 here is reflective of both the merchant referral fee 15% plus the shipping fee. So if you minus that out, shipping costs only about $350 or $4 or so. And a lot of corporations who aren't familiar with Amazon's landscape, they don't understand that FBA has a very competitive shipping rate. If you could tell your CEO today in the organization that, hey, I can cut our shipping costs down by 40%, would they pay attention? Most likely they would.
but they wouldn't know that FBA is the way to make that happen. Amazon has really super competitive shipping rates. And so what it normally costs you $7 to ship UPS or even United States Postal Service first class will only cost about $4 in FBA. These are small and light items, and you don't have to touch the product going direct to consumer. There's a lot of benefits of being an FBA. And so that shipping cost is much, much less. So those are things to think about. Other things I like about the Chrome extension, it gives you the estimated monthly revenue of an item. It gives you the business ranking, review counts, bunch of good information, review velocity. I think that might actually be a new metric. Is how many reviews are coming in every 30 days. So you got 12 on this one. If you're trying to look at one of your competitors and you see their review count spike to like 200 and it was like 5 a week ago, go look at their review velocity and report them. They're probably gaming the system. It's not normal to go that fast on reviews. So those are some things to think about. And again, if you're a corporation who has not been paying attention to Amazon and now it's going to be part of your focal strategy moving forward, maybe it's coronavirus that's prompted this question because you've had retail stores, sales have been slowing down. Now is a great time to sell on Amazon. Conversion rates are very high on Amazon right now. People who have never bought on Amazon before are now buying on Amazon because they can't go to the physical retail stores due to quarantines or whatnot. This is a once in a 100-year event. It's going to change buying behaviors for decades to come. And so most of my clients right now are seeing record sales, beating out Christmas and Black Friday rushes, beating out Prime Day week, beating out all preceding holidays or big sales pushes. So if you were to sell on Amazon today, this is a great opportunity to do so. Highly recommend it. Definitely hire an expert when you're doing this because there's so many constraints like what we covered in today's video that you have to learn and pick up on. And it can be very complex. So if you're ready to make that plunge, go over to myamazonguy.com and contact us. We'll do a free consultation call and see if we can be a good fit to help you out. If you have any other questions that weren't addressed in this video that you would love to see a video on, chances are they're on my channel somewhere. Be sure to subscribe. But if not, leave a comment on this video. We'll take time to shoot a video on this and get back to you and let you know once that video is up. This is My Amazon Guy. I'm the founder. My name is Stephen Pope. Thanks for watching. Be sure to subscribe and like this video and share any comments you might have.